Welcome to CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. The go-to podcast for fractional CFOs and accounting firm owners who want to attract more high-paying clients and increase their revenue. Hosted by James Donovan from 92 Media. This podcast dives into marketing strategies specifically designed for lead generation and client acquisition. In each episode, you'll hear from industry leaders sharing their success stories and expert tactics to help you sign more lucrative clients and grow your business. Tune in and discover actionable insights to transform your marketing efforts and boost your bottom line.
Max, thank you so much for hopping on. I'm excited to speak with you today. I know we originally met back in the spring at GrowCon. For those who don't know you, do you mind just telling us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who you work with?
Sure. So first of all, it's great to be here, James. Thank you for the opportunity, and it's good to see you again. It's been a while. So BooXkeeping started about 13 years ago, and we provide bookkeeping services to small, medium-sized businesses all over the United States. By accident, we started doing bookkeeping for franchises about 7 or 8 years ago, and now we are a preferred bookkeeping provider for about 95 franchise brands. And from that, being around franchisor gave me an idea that, hey, we can sell our own bookkeeping franchises. So now BooXkeeping is a franchisor. So we're actually offering franchises to people in the local markets throughout the United States. We, as of today, have 11 franchisees and should have a couple more in the next few weeks. We are available, I'd say, in over 40 states. And then from that business, of talking about franchises, being around franchises, being a franchisor myself, I've added a franchise brokerage. That's where we offer franchises, about 600 plus different franchises that are not BooXkeeping, but our services are completely free when we can talk to somebody and suggest for them what would be a good business to buy, navigate them, and then help them to connect with the right franchisor. And we, again, I said, the service is free. We get fully paid by a franchisor if a candidate buys their franchise.
Okay. How did you accidentally get into franchising? So you brought on a couple clients that had lots of locations. That was interesting, that piece you mentioned at the very start, that like this kind of was an accident, but sounds like
it was absolutely, it was an accident, but I believe that nothing happens for no reason. So there was a reason. So pretty much we were just introduced to a franchisee of a company who was local, and they were looking for bookkeeping, and we started doing bookkeeping for them. And they in turn said, well, there's going to be a franchise show in San Diego about 2 or 3 blocks from my house where I used to live, and our franchisor is going to be there. And I looked at it, and the price to have a booth wasn't that much. And I'm like, why don't we have a booth there? So we just got a booth going. It was pretty much not even a booth. It was a tablecloth and a small banner, smaller than the one you have in the background. And, we talked to this franchisor, and took a while before they start sending us clients. But, we got probably one franchisor who was interested in working with us. And then I'm like, well, I like it. I think there is an opportunity. And then we started growing. As I said, we now do it for, I think it's 98 now franchise brands. So we're going to hit 100 really soon. And some of the brands are national, such as Sport Clips, Fast Sign, Signorama. So working with companies like that, it's awesome. But we, as a joke, we don't discriminate. We work with smaller people as well. Somebody who is, just starting, and they might have 3 locations now, but they can sell 50 in the next few months. I mean, we work with one franchise. When they started working with us, they had 12 locations. In 3 months, they sold 800 locations. Okay. 800 in 3 months. It's the fastest growing franchise. They're not all open, but we do over 100 of their locations now throughout the United States. So you never know which franchise is going to be the next hit.
No kidding. That's crazy to think what your business would look like if you didn't go to that event.
Yeah, probably, but we'll figure out to do something else. But then again, we definitely wouldn't be offering the franchises right now. That's definitely a byproduct of being around franchisors, because most of the franchisors are really fun people, willing to help and wanting to be, there for you. And I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like one of them. That's really what it was.
That's awesome. So you've been very successful with all of this, Max. Are you able to tell us about some of the more challenging times that you faced as an entrepreneur and getting BooXkeeping up and running, or maybe there was a different struggling time prior to BooXkeeping? But is there something you can share that you feel is really carved and defined who you are as an entrepreneur today?
For sure. And I mean, we can talk about bookkeeping franchise and the fact that we got the approval to start selling franchises the day we went into lockdown. That was an awesome timing, as you can imagine. So for the first year and a half, we weren't really selling anything, even though we got an approval. We are just paying for, everything, because we had to pivot the existing bookkeeping business, because bookkeeping has multiple offices in different countries of the world. And we thought the US got hit hard by COVID. No, I mean, the rest of the world got hit way harder, because like we have an office in Barcelona, Spain. People could leave house for like literally 30 minutes a day or maybe an hour, so they couldn't come to the office. So I had my employees sneaking in at night, picking the computers, and like seriously, like a movie, and then running, in the back streets with laptops so they can work from home, because they just shut it down. I mean, similar happened in Philippines, where we have an office. So, but this wasn't, like I wouldn't say it would define me as the entrepreneur. Prior to going to accounting, I had a landscaping company that I joined family business and went from 3 employees. I grew it to 96 employees, and we were very successful until they stopped building new track homes. We went to the recession 08 or 09, and we got stuck with 20 trucks, cranes, equipment, and no income pretty much. So we had to sell the house with one baby and one baby on the way. It was very fun experience, fun being, quote unquote. And then paid every employee, and that's it. We had to start from scratch. We didn't have a choice, but we had to declare bankruptcy, and that was hard. It was hard financially. It was very hard mentally, and the economical situation in the country wasn't that much fun at the time. But nevertheless, we survived. We opened the company again, only concentrating in maintenance, and then we're able to sell that business later on. By doing that, that gave me and my wife, who is a co-founder of BooXkeeping, an idea that if we had a bookkeeping company doing our books on time and on budget, we would probably catch that way early, and it probably wouldn't be as painful as it was. I mean, we both are accounting and finance graduates, so we understand the numbers, but we're so busy growing the business that we just did not concentrate on the bookkeeping portion of it and accounting portion of it.
That's crazy. That's wild. How a landscaping business that you were selling, restarting it, and then jumping to bookkeeping. How important would you say the numbers are for bookkeeping? I know it's every business needs one. A lot of businesses, I think, overlook it. They should probably have a bookkeeper earlier on in their business. So how important would you say it is to have a bookkeeper, and when would you recommend, maybe at what annual revenue size should a business really consider having a bookkeeper in place?
Well, I'm going to be biased, and I'll say the company needs to have a bookkeeper pre-revenue before they start making revenue, if they want to start making revenue fast. Okay, because if you don't know your expenses, and you don't know how much you spend on the pre-opening of a business, you're probably not going to be successful. You can be successful, but there is a better chance for you to succeed if you actually know all these numbers, because it's very easy to burn cash. So if you don't know where you're burning it, let's be honest, not everybody in this world is going to protect your interest. I mean, some people going to be thinking about their own interest and how I can make more money on this person. So if you don't know where you're spending your money, you'll go through it really, really fast. So I'm going to argue that you need a bookkeeper before you go live. That's why a lot of franchises we do bookkeeping for, they actually make somebody to pick a bookkeeper before they even go live. Just before we're recording this podcast, I had somebody from franchise. They are not even haven't even picked geographical location yet. I mean, they are in Colorado, they know the city, but they don't know where it's going to be located. So they're probably about 4 or 5 months out before they do all the construction and everything else and actually open. But the franchisor makes them talk to us now. So 4 months out, which I think is great. They don't need our services today, but they'll probably need it in about 2 months. So definitely, bookkeeping is important, and bookkeeping is actually a fast-growing industry. That's why we're successful in selling franchises, because everybody needs it. People don't realize that, but bookkeeping and payroll, just the outsourcing piece of it, is about $70 billion a year in the US alone. So it's huge.
So talk to me a little bit about how you communicate that value, how your team communicates that value to new businesses who maybe they don't know what they don't know about bookkeeping. They feel like it's a couple $100 a month and it's an added expense for them. So how do you guys go about communicating the value to where this is an absolute no-brainer and we're actually going to help you out and this is going to become a really low cost instead of this is an expense every month that they're not really happy with?
Well, first of all, James, it's not a cost. It's investment in the business. Okay, this is not a cost. If you look at it as the cost, then you're gonna treat it as such. This is an investment. You're investing in your future. So if you don't understand your numbers, you're not gonna be successful. So that's just my strong belief. But the way we communicate it through education and through telling people the horror stories, and it's actually work. I mean, I can say that part of uh, mm, part of the reason that we had to go into bankruptcy is because we didn't know our own numbers. So again, that was pretty hard for us to go from being very successful to starting from scratch again. And if we would have known our numbers, we would have catch the wave way early and we would figure it out. Again, it was like a perfect storm. So it wasn't just, that we did a lot of it. It's not that we bought 25 expensive cars and 30 expensive watches, and that's how we burn cash. That did not happen, I can promise you. But it just, we were overcapitalized. We had too much of equipment, and then the revenue went to zero practically overnight.
Wow. It's so interesting. I mean, yeah, if you can explain that to people firsthand, how important it is and what you went through, you can help them avoid that ditch. So I can see how that's a very powerful message.
For sure, for sure. And then our franchisees, they see the need in their local market, so they are very interested in buying the franchise. We recently sold to a CPA firm out of Las Vegas, Nevada, because I mean they're great doing taxes, but they always had issues how to get bookkeeping off the ground. And we provide them staff, we provide all the marketing, we provide all the training. It's funny. You and me both know Roger. I mean, we didn't talk about it, but Roger's picture is behind your banner. But Universal is doing bookkeeping, accounting training for all of my franchisees. So they actually go through accounting training with Roger's school. They also get 6 months of sales training, and they also get 1 year of executive coaching. So the sum of these three trainings in dollar value is actually more than the franchise fee bookkeeping franchise is paying us, and it's all free for them. Everything is paid by us.
That's awesome. That's great. What are some of your proudest moments, Max, with bookkeeping or in general as an entrepreneur? Like what keeps you going each day?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Feeling like your growth has hit a plateau, even though you're putting in the work? Maybe you're attracting clients, but not the high-end ones who see your true value as an advisor. Or you're stuck in compliance mode with all the big wins happening just a few months of the year. I get it, it's frustrating, and it's not how you envisioned your business evolving. That's why I'm offering a strategy call designed specifically for business owners ready to break through these barriers. This isn't just about leads, it's about creating a strategy that aligns with your marketing, personal brand, and sales approach to attract clients who pay what you're worth. Imagine starting the new year with a clear plan, a stronger personal brand, and more high-ticket clients. If you're serious about taking things to the next level and want a true growth partner, now's the time. Visit accountingleadsnow.com or click the link in the show notes to book your strategy call. Don't let another month pass by without a roadmap to achieve the results you're after. I'm here to help you make the shift.
Well, on the bookkeeping franchise, seeing the success of my franchisees, like seeing when they making it and when they follow the system and eventually it works, it actually really great. And then I know we're doing something right. Also, I'm very happy to see the success of our employees. We have one employee, Catherine. She started with us. It's going to be 10 years in about 2 weeks, and she came as a part-time junior processor, and for her it was like a temporary gig that she just needed some extra money. And I told her, which I tell all of our employees, sky is the limit. And everybody like, yeah, sure. So fast forward, Kat now is the director of operations for bookkeeping, and she's my right hand. I have several right hand people, but Kat is that, and she's a huge part of training for all our franchisees and for the employees. And we wouldn't be able to do it without her and the rest of the team, of course. So I'm very proud to see when that happens, and just knowing that we go back that far, and her daughter calling me uncle, just that's really awesome, because it goes way beyond just the work. For us, culture is a huge thing. It's probably one of the most important. Our hashtag is cool bean counters, and we choose strategically who would be part of this culture. So we actually said no to quite a few potential franchisees because we just knew it's not going to be a good match to our culture. They could be the greatest people on earth. It's just not who we're looking for. So some French candidates don't realize that we are vetting them as much as they're vetting us, So like we also say no when we talk to them. First the sales team, then me and the sales team, and then the rest of the team. We all talk among each other, and at any point, anybody can say, you know what, I didn't like this and that about this person, and I think he or she is going to be a good match. And we are, have a right to say, you know what, we would love to work with you, but we think that this is a good match. And, now that I offer, a franchise brokerage, that actually a little bit an easier conversation, because, hey, we might not be a good match, but we can talk about possibly, steering you towards a different industry. And that's usually a more pleasant conversation.
That's so awesome. Max, what is bookkeeping doing now to keep growing on the marketing front? How do you keep getting your name out there? How do people find out about you? What's generating sales opportunities for you guys?
Well, a lot of educational things, and then also honestly, SEO works too. And I'm glad I listened to my marketing team, because they were telling me, well, let us do our work, and then you'll see the results. Just let us. And I'm like, yeah, but why is this taking so long? Like, Max, you have to relax. It does take time. But now in a lot of categories, we are organically on number one page of Google. And a lot of times we are in number one position organically. That's in the United States. And there are 120,000 bookkeeping companies in the US. So being on the first page of Google, that's awesome. So that works a lot. But then I'm doing a lot of interviews, podcasts, working with partners for bookkeeping franchise. We work with brokers throughout the United States. So we do a lot of different avenues. One thing that I tell people that what worked prior to COVID does not work anymore. Okay, so you have to pivot and you have to be open and just say that, hey, it's not going to work. Like, in again, this is just my opinion, and we can go into argument and talk about it. But what I've noticed that the print media is not doing what it used to do because I don't see that much return on investment if you do like an advertisement in a newspaper or magazine like it was before. But let's be honest, how often do you see somebody reading a newspaper in Starbucks anymore? It used to be a lot of people were doing it. I don't think they even sell the newspapers there anymore. I remember just a few years ago it was available. You could go and buy, a local paper, a Wall Street Journal. Now it's all digital. So
Yeah. Yeah, everything's digital now. It's very rare to see someone with the newspaper like you mentioned. You made a point there, Max, I thought was really interesting. When you had some marketing strategies running, you felt a little impatient, but you wanted to wait. You were told this is going to work, it's going to take time. And maybe at the front end you're fighting and going against the grain a bit, but now you're seeing the fruits of all those labors. So what would you say to other firms who are investing in marketing? They're trying things out, but they're a little impatient. They want the result immediately. But you're on the other side of it now. You know that things take time, and now you're seeing the rewards of that.
well, if you want your return immediately, go to Vegas, put everything you have on 17 black, and then you'll know in a matter of seconds if you're going to win or not. So that's what I would tell them. And of course, I'm joking, but there is no immediate thing. I mean, you do that professionally, so it's not going to be the case. So what I would suggest, pick the company that you trust. Just take your time, do due diligence, do homework, talk to other people, pick the company you trust and the company you want to work with, and let them do their magic. Okay, so don't rush them because it's just not going to happen. Because I was doing it. I mean, my marketing company, they love me, but they hate me. They love me because I'm coming up with new businesses all the time, so it's more work for them, and it's actually exciting and creative. But they hate me because I'm on their butt. Like, hey, where is the result? I want it now. So that's just me, the type A personality. I know it's challenging for a lot of my members of my team, but I am who I am. I'm trying to change as much as I could, but it's very, 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 very hard. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, just let it run its course.
Perfect. That's awesome. Max, for anyone who wants to get in touch with you, how can they reach out to you?
So people can find us on BooXkeepingFranchise.com, but actually to make everybody's life easier, because some people would be interested in probably an advice of buying a franchise, maybe as a passive income and might not be accounting. They can just go to franchisewithmax.com, franchisewithmax, and it'll take people to 3 different websites. It'll take people to a site that's offering bookkeeping services, the bookkeeping franchise, and then main entrance franchise consulting. That's my business where we help other people either franchise their concept or buy an existing franchise.
Awesome. Max, I hope people listening go check out your site. They get in touch with you. I know you guys are doing awesome things. Like I said, we had a chance to meet at an event last spring as both partnering or both sponsoring the event, being able to have a conversation there. I love what you guys are doing, and I hope people go and check out and learn a little bit more from you. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, James. It was great. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. We hope today's episode provided valuable strategies to help you attract more high-paying clients. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share with fellow professionals. Connect with us on LinkedIn and leave a review or comment to join the conversation. Your feedback helps us bring you the best insights in finance and marketing. Until next time, keep striving for success and unlocking your business's potential.